very pretty colour scheme, that, isn't it? I don't think the wings are that colour. So some stickers for the wings, which I will put on. Tailplane and wing. Now, it's a flat wing with a tip dihedral each side. Not particularly stable, I'm guessing, because what I want to do, it is stable if I had two lines, as I've been doing. But what I think would be better is if I just had the one line and maybe fishing line, makes it less visible. So if I'm going to have one line, then I'm going to need to have a lot more dihedral to make it neutral, stable. I'm going to cut this and bend it right up to quite a big dihedral angle. Let's and then just slide the wing in. All I have to do then is to work out where the camera is going to mount, and the Mobius can sit straight on the top with some Velcro, and we're sorted. I might have to watch a little video. Bob Flyman makes a lot of these. I'm sure he'll show us how to keep the wings up. I'm looking for quite a lot. Yeah, let me watch a video, guys. I'll come back to you. But he's put a cut in and hot glued it, and that will be easier to do that, I think. So if I just cut it along the bottom, bend it up to what I want, I'm going to bead a hot glue in, and it's job done. Right, we'll just make a cut down the middle, say there and there. That's okay. So the question is, how much dihedral? Quite a lot. I'm thinking about that. I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of hot glue, but for things like this, it's ideal. Okay, we'll just let that set, guys, and they'll come back. In fact, I'll tell you what, while that is setting, let's put the tail plane in, shall we? So one way is going to give it a huge amount of up elevator, and that will be that way. Yep. So we'll see. I'm going to pull it off first of all with neutral tail plane, like that. And if it does turn out that it needs some up elevator, simple, just pull it out and put it in. And I'm going to cut a bit of a bevel on here. This is all guesswork, isn't it? Guesswork. Just run the knife around here as well. So this one hasn't got a bolt, it's got rather a crude cast lump of lead or something, but I want to work out where the CG is before I take that out, so let's try that. Yeah, I think this might be going on now. There we go. Okay, centre of gravity. Let's get the tail back on. It's the ideal camera plane when you think about it. Okay, that's 30 grams, that's 46. So that tells us that we can't put the Mobius in the same place. It's got to go back a bit. I have to mount it further up. I've got to get this on the centre of gravity. Look, this doesn't weigh hardly anything, so let's see how it compares. Let's just pop that in there. I'm going to cut that to be parallel with there, all the way across, I guess. Say there. Mounts okay. So I'm going to have to glue that back on. Let's see how we're looking CG wise. Yeah, pretty much where it was. So stick a bit of wood on there, bit of Velcro, pop the camera on.
Says in the instructions and everything else is wrong.
He's just building his Hawker Hunter.
You get this little bit of plastic here that's got the tapered edge.
Let me turn him down slightly. Sorry, Chris, can I turn you down a minute? I've got a little lanyard on this, which I might just fix it, a rubber band or something around the fuselage, just as a backup in case something comes off. I've put CA on the plywood as well. It's plywood because I want it to form a good hard surface. I don't want it to pull away or anything. Okay, give it a good push, a little bit of a wobble, and just, oops, we turned it on, take it off. There we are. That's pretty good. Right, I've just stuck the transfers on. If I want to, I'll take a little bit out of here, a little bit more, just in case I want to mount the camera further back. Let's go back to about, say, there. So it's a bit further back, no problem. Right, now the last stage is to put a tube. What I thought was the line has to go through the fuselage like the old one, so yeah, if I put a tube in down here somewhere where my hands are, well, probably over the centre of gravity actually, so that's a long way back actually. That's okay. Let's just remove the camera. So if I just fit a plastic tube, and I've got some plastic tubes here which actually came from my local model shop, and they are in fact till rolled tubes, and that looks to me the perfect length. All I have to do is to make a hole, which I could have done before I fitted the wing. You can see I put the hot glue down there now. And if I've got a bit of brass tube the same diameter, well, there you go, look. So let's just sharpen that up and I can push it through. Something else you can do if you wanted, and that was to cut little like teeth on it, which I think I might do just to help it through. Okay, and that tube there will fit like that. That's a good tight fit. I wonder if I need to, don't really need to cut it down. Might be better if it is the width for the fuselage up there. So I think that's it. I think that's just done. I think I'll put another tube further forward on the fuselage just in case it sort of pulls it up. Can't hurt to put another tube through further forward because I've got lots of them. Let's put one through about roughly under the camera, I think. That might be a problem though. I might have to put some clear tape along the leading edge there, I think. That's not sticking down. That'll act as a lovely sort of air brake, won't it? That's better. She's ready to go. This video is actually filmed in two parts because what I've done, I've gone up to the field and I've test flown it, and it wasn't too good. There was way too much wing area and it just was trying to fly itself. So I got my scalpel out, I cut through the wingtips and flew it just as a stubby wing, and it was 100% better. But I've decided to have a go at putting the wingtips on the end of the stubby wings, and it flew a lot better, in fact really well, given the gusty conditions. So when I came back from the initial test, I took the wing out, cut it down the middle. Well, I didn't actually. I cut an angle because you can see it swept back now. So when you cut the wing initially, cut it so as it's sweeping back and cut a dihedral on it. The best way to do that is to overlap the two wing panels at the angle you want and just cut through both of them at the same time with a big saw if you want, because you're only going to hot glue them together and the joint's going to be inside the fuselage anyway. So just gauge how much dihedral you want on there. I've got about 8 centimeters each side, that's fine. And then just glue the wingtips on. I've glued them on at 90 degrees to the cut of the wing, and they're glued on. Let's show you that side. You can see the angle. The angle is there so as this corner doesn't get caught in the grass when I land, and it does land very nicely behind the toe plane. Let's just get on with the video. You can see me sticking the wingtips on. At the end of this video, when it's done, I'll link to the actual experiments of it flying. I've still got a little way to go, but not far. This is it now. This is the basis of it. I'll probably put the toe line right in the nose like we do with big glider toes. I wouldn't recommend just putting a hole through the nose as it stands because there's not much foam here. So what I plan to do is just to saw right through the centre line, probably back to about here. Push a piece of 1/16 ply in, glue, epoxy that in, and then shape it down to match the profile of the nose, and then put a hole through, and basically you put it through plywood. And that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this little escapade, I suppose you'd call it, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, bye. Now these serve two purposes. One, gives it a little bit more thin area, maybe make it less likely to want to sort of roll around or be affected by the winds. And, well, 3 things. 2, it gives me like an undercarriage, so it'll stay upright. So if I tow it behind a plane with an undercarriage, it'll stay seated on the ground correctly. And 3, and most importantly, it looks so cool. So I think I'm going to glue these on. So I've just sanded the tips because I hacked these off at the field, so they weren't brilliantly straight, but not bad actually. So they're pretty much 90 degrees, so they match. So if you want to do the same, if this is ever successful, that wingtip comes over to this side. Up the field, I cut them just the other side of the stickers, which is good because it leaves me a area to put a fillet of hot glue. These have to be up else they'll get snagged in the grass. I'm going to stick these on. I think they've got to be touching the ground. Back there, no, there. Just there will do. I watched a few of videos online from the master of the Lidl adaptations, in my opinion anyway, and that's Bob Flyman. I'll link to his channel below. He's done loads of little conversions, but he didn't make one of these. But he does show you loads of techniques to work with these things and how adaptable they are to work with. So check out Bob Flyman's channel. Got to work reasonably fast because the glue goes dries. Okay, so I'll just hold that there a minute while it sets off. And there I've got my rather nice skids. There's a little bit of a knack to putting this hot glue on. If you go too fast, you get gaps. If you go too slow, it'll melt the phone. I thought I might try a single line. This is going to make the weight of the line a lot lighter and the plane is more likely to fly more up. I could make it shorter, but I wanted that long shot of the plane. I think I'm going to go with fishing line, and I'll have just one line, and hopefully this will stabilize enough to and not spin around. Don't want it to spin, that would be dreadful. In fact, if it's spinning, it won't fly, if you know what I mean. That way up it's going to lift, that way up it's not going to lift. So it could be a bit of a disaster if it spins. It might be worth making some sort of release mechanism on the aeroplane that would let it go. I've got something like this, which I could hot glue onto there, and it's wide enough to put some rubber bands around the edge. Put the Mobius on the top. That looks about the right angle. Let's get the camera a minute. The Mobius would sit there. I'd say that was a pretty good angle. Actually, let's just test the centre of gravity. Okay, that's still pretty much where it should be. Both sides, give it a squeeze. I could, for a peace of mind, stick say some couple of big pins each side, push it into the balsa to act as guarantees that the band doesn't come off. It's not a bad idea. Okay, so plane camera will go there or there. The faster the plane flies, the more it comes up. The slower it goes, the more it hangs down, which makes the landings a bit exciting. There it is, ready for a test, and I can go up with an aeroplane with an undercarriage and it'll just pull it straight off the ground. I am enjoying mucking around with this. I know I'm not getting on with my other projects. This is a camera mount, and I do like doing the photography in the air, and if this works I should get a good shot. That's the thing, I'll get a shot. Camera will go up there. I'll have more than one rubber. Always have more than one of everything, so I'll have at least 2 rubber bands on there, if not 3. I quite like the idea of those pins. Let's push one in now. Could be an end grain, they push in quite easily, and in actual fact I could put the rubber band directly around that. In fact, if I had one, yeah, let me take that one out, and I'll just put one right in the middle. No point in having 2. So I'll put one there. Now I can put on a tighter band. Where are we? About there. Like that. And then the band, I'll have a smaller band. It will just go there to there like that. Or I could double that one up. Straight round the front, over the top, back over. There we are. Sorted. Ready to go. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe and you'll see the next experiment, number 3. Cheers guys.